my creatives, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to Jola Don't Crochets. In this video I'll be showing you how I crochet this beautiful flowery skirt, so stay tuned as we get right in the tutorial. For this project we will be using some yarn, and the color that I'll be using is blush pink. We're going to be needing our tape measure to measure our waist and our hip. We also will be using a 4mm hook, our scissors, and our stitch marker. So let's begin. So we are going to get started with our waistband first. So to make our waistband, we're going to make 15 chains. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So after I've made my 15 chains, I'm now going to make a half double crochet in the third chain from the hook, which is here. And then I'm going to continue making half double crochets until I get to the end of this row. Now to begin my second row, I'm going to make 2 chains. Then I'm going to turn my work, and in the next stitch, the third stitch from our hook, which is here, I'm going to make a half double crochet in the back loop only. So I'm just making half double crochets in the back loop of each stitch right across, and I'm going to continue making this same pattern until I reach my desired width. So after we've completed our waistband, we're now just going to slip stitch both ends together right across. So in each stitch on both sides, we're going to just slip stitch to close off our band. Slip stitch to connect the both ends of our band like this, and then we're going to turn on our right side to begin the body of our skirt. So now we're just going to chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet in each. As best as possible, we're going to just single crochet in each available stitch across. So we're just going to continue doing this until we get back to the end of our row here. And if you don't want to forget where you started, you can just put a stitch marker. Excuse this this pin here, this please excuse this. This is not a stitch marker really, but it can do the job just fine. So this is a paper clip that I'm using. Alright, so we're just going to continue making single crochets around until we get back here, and then we'll continue. We're now at the end of round 1, and so for this skirt we'll not be beginning a round by chaining 2. We're just going to continue. So this is a seamless stitch skirt, so we're just going to be continuing working our stitches right around to our desired number of rows. We will not be ending our row with a slip stitch, nor will we be beginning our row with a chain 2. We're just going to continue, hence why we place a stitch marker here, so we can always be reminded of where we stopped. right? And where we should start our next round. All right, so I'm at my last single crochet on round one. So I'm just going to continue until I get to the stitch marker here. And this is where my last single crochet will be. So I'm just going to place my stitch marker right here. So for round two now, we're just going to continue, but for round two, we're going to be making half double crochets for round 2 and 3. So what we're going to be doing is just continue. So this is our last single crochet, right? So what we're gonna do, where our last single crochet should be, because we're going to begin our next round with a half double crochet, we're just going to place a half double crochet to begin our next round. All right, so we're just placing a half double crochet here, and then we place our stitch marker. So this stitch will be the stitch that we'll be using for the remainder of our skirt. Half double crochet, that will be our primary stitch for the remainder of our skirt. So that is what we'll be doing until we get back here. All right, so I ended up doing three rows of half double crochet. Now it's time for me to make do my no increase rows. So I'm just going to mark off the two ends of my skirt, or the hip section of my skirt with a stitch marker. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it somewhat. So it doesn't have to be accurate. So I'm just going to place my stitch marker at one end of my skirt, and then I'm going to place the other stitch marker at the other end of my skirt here. If you want a precise measurement, you can count off your stitches and divide by 2, but I really am not going to do that today. But that is another option that you can take. Just count off your stitches and divide it by 2. But for me, I'm just using my judgment right now, right? And just place it at the two ends randomly. All right? So for this row, I'm going to make an increase, this row is going to be my increase row, which would be row 5. So row 1 was my single crochet. Row 2, 3, and 4, I did regular half double crochets. So now row 5, I am going to do an increase row. So I'm just going to continue making half double crochets. So I'm just going to place my stitch marker here to remember where I stopped, and I'm just going to make half double crochets until I get to my stitch marker. So I'm now at my stitch marker here, and this is where I'm going to make my increase. And by now we should know that when we make an increase, we're actually placing 2 stitches within the same stitch. So I'm just going to be placing 2 half double crochets in the same stitch, and then I'm going to continue making half double crochets until I get to the other stitch marker where I'm going to place another increase. So the pattern for this skirt, the next round I'm going to actually do regular half double crochets, no increase. The row after I'm going to will be an increase row. So basically I am alternating rows of increase and no increase. All right, so I've completed my 22 rows of alternating increase and no increase rounds. So I have another, so from row 27, which is here, to row 60, I only did regular half double crochets. So I stopped my increases, or I stopped my increased row at row 26, and row 27 to row 60 I just did regular half double crochets. So now I'm going to be adding some fringes at the end of the skirt or at the tail of the skirt, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to add some applique flower on our skirt, some crochet applique flowers to give this skirt some more creativity. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how I crochet these flowers, which I'm going to be placing on top of my skirt. Right, so for the bottom of our skirt, we're going to be putting some fringes here. And for us to get these fringes, so we have some fringes here that will be attaching to the bottom of our skirt. And so for us to make these fringes, so we're just going to get a piece of cardboard or any piece of paper that is thick enough, and we're just going to wrap our yarn like this around the card or the paper. So depending on the length of your fringes, you can get a longer piece of paper or card that you just wrap your yarn around like this, and we cut along the way. So we wrap our yarn around like this, and then we're just going to cut. So we're just going to cut like this. So we're just going to cut the bottom part of our card like this. And here are our fringes. Alright guys, so I'm going to be attaching my fringes, as you can see, to the bottom of my skirt. So I'll be adding three pieces of fringes in the stitches. I'm just going to be randomly placing in stitches. So you want to place your hook here in the stitch like this, and then you're going to place your three pieces of yarn at the hook like this, and then you're going to pull through the stitch, and then you're going to make a loop by placing these three, you're going to be making a loop and just pull through the loop to make a knot. Yes guys, so as you can see here, I have finished adding my fringes to the skirt. So next I'm going to be adding some flowers, some applique to the skirt. So I'm going to be randomly placing some flowers around the skirt all over here. So I'm going to show you how I'll crochet these flowers, and then we're just going to add them, randomly place them around the skirt. Alright, so we're going to be adding some flowers to our skirt. So I've already gone ahead and crochet these cute small petals or flowers. So I'm going to be randomly just stick them around, spread them out across the skirt. So I'm going to show you how I actually created or crochet one of these flowers. These are just some simple flowers that you can make, right? So it's very simple. So first we're going to make a magic circle or a magic ring. And then we're going to single crochet, make 5 single crochets in the ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're adding some different colors of flowers to the skirt. All right. And then we're going to join with a slip stitch. So in the 5th stitch, we're going to join with a slip stitch. And then we're going to chain 1. And then we're going to make 1/2 double crochet in the same stitch. And then we're going to make 3 double crochets in the same stitch. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to make 1/2 double crochet in the same stitch. Right? And then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to repeat the same pattern for another 4 petals. So we're just going to chain 1. I'm going to show you for the next stitch. We chain 1, and then in the next stitch here we are going to place 1/2 double crochet, and then 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3, and then a half double crochet in the same stitch. And then we're going to chain 1. I'm going to show you for the next petal what I'm going, the same pattern, show you once more. So we chain 1, and in the next stitch, which is here, we are going to make 1/2 double crochet, and then we're going to make 3 more, 3 double crochets, 2, 3, and then another half double crochet. And these are 3 petals so far. So we're just going to continue the same pattern for another 2 petals until we have our 5 petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so this is the pattern that we use to create our flowers, and we're just going to make a bunch of them, and then we're going to just randomly stick them onto our skirt when we are done. So far I have attached some of my flowers already. I'm just placing the rest. So to do this, I use my glue gun, as you can see here. So I'm just applying my glue, and this is a fabric glue. I'm applying my glue to my petal, to my rose petal, and then I'm just gently, randomly just distributing around the skirt. So I'm just trying to ensure that it is well secured on the skirt. Okay, so I'm adding some pearl white beads to my flowers because I just want to accentuate it some more. I want to give it that pop. So I'm just applying my glue onto the beads, and then I'm going to apply it onto the flowers because I want to give my flowers an extra pop. So you can accentuate your flowers as you wish, but this is how I chose to make my skirt a little bit more creative. You know what I mean? Yeah. that's me just being so overjoyed at how beautiful this skirt came out. Oh my god. So this is the finished product of our skirt. Thank you for watching, and if you did find this video very useful, I do consider subscribing to my channel. Like, comment and share. Until next time, bye.